Strive Coaching Studio, guiding business leaders to meet the highest version of themselves. And now, here's Michelle, certified coach and founder of Strive Coaching Studio.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Strive Coaching Studio podcast number 34. I'm titling this, Getting Your Shit Together. I know. Most of us imagine and describe someone as having their shit together as a person who has everything in order and gets the things done that they want to get done in the way they want to get it done. Well, that just isn't entirely true. The true test of whether someone has their shit together or not is what they do and how they handle it when all plans go awry and new shit, literally, gets thrown at them unexpectedly. That's how you know whether someone has their shit together or not. So listen, I used to think I had my shit together before. Now I know I really didn't before. As soon as anything went outside of the plan, I would truly lose my shit. And I'm not even kidding. And I'm really not trying to make this a comedy skit right now for you, even though making light of it and laughing makes the entire topic that much better and easier to talk about. I'm also being completely serious. I want to share this story with you as an inspiration for you too, as you work through the process of getting your own shit together too. So last week, I found out with very little notice that an application process was going to be made available to me for something I had always been a goal of mine. I knew I wanted to work hard on this project. I had fully planned to participate in it whenever it would be made available to me. Well, that week came last week. And with practically no notice, it was just on. I mean, just the week prior, I didn't even know that I'd have this project coming up until the announcement was made. The timing was not what I was anticipating. I had just made some big commitments toward my business again now that kids are back to school. And I had a full plate already in my plan for work, for the whole month actually. And it was my busiest week of coaching. I had a solid week of clients booked for the week. Not to mention health, exercise commitments, social commitments. I had already made all of them. These kinds of weeks happen, right? To all of us. The unexpected, the full schedule, the plan that requires adjusting, the how to make the right decision about what to do. Who will I choose to disappoint as a result? Does all this sound familiar to you? I know because those are the thoughts that go through my mind too. And I know because many of my clients express the same thing when it happens to them as well. It's so easy to let all of that take over and cause anxiety, stress, and overwhelm. So how do you decide from there? What is your process for determining what you should do? Lately, I've heard a lot of things. Here's some of the comments I've been hearing lately. Well, my boss's schedule is more important than mine, so I don't want them to think that they have to adjust around my schedule. Or I want my team to know that I support them and that I'm a partner for them when they need help. Or I'll just work harder and I'll work longer hours and I'll just get it done. Or how about I can skip whatever, fill in the blank, working out, packing my lunch in the morning, being home for dinner. Or I can just get up earlier or stay up later. My husband, kids, friends, relatives, they'll understand if I don't make it to the whatever that I told them I'd be there for. Or even, I just got to figure it out. I just need to do it. So if you've said this or anything else like this, this is your first sign that you, in fact, already don't have your shit together. I want to suggest some alternatives for you. At least for me, when I've said things like these to myself, it really doesn't feel very good. It makes me feel like I'm not actually making the choices for myself as to what I want to accomplish and what I choose to pursue and create for my life with my own mind and my own decision-making abilities. Basically, it feels shitty. So thoughts that are creating feelings like putting myself second or behind others' needs, or that I'm sacrificing, or I feel obligated, or that I am pleasing some people while also not living up to the commitments I've made to myself or others and disappointing them. Ultimately, we end up feeling like we are the victim to the limited time or additional demands. We're a victim to it. And when we make the choices we do from this place, we end up becoming resentful of the things that we chose, as if we didn't choose them willingly for ourselves. I know many of us have been in these shoes before, so what could we do instead? Number one, it's totally normal and perfectly humanly fine to think that way. So don't start judging and shaming yourself. That makes what already feels shitty have an extra layer of shit on top of it. No kidding. So let's just agree that we're not going to do that to ourselves, okay? Deal? Next, we're going to change how we approach it and what we're going to think going in. The ideas I listed above do not serve us toward anything that is empowering at all. So in this instance, my goal was to find thoughts that help me feel more empowered toward resolving this with confidence and capability. And when you begin here, you're set up for having your shit together all the way through. I decided to choose to think that I was going to make choices about what to do based on my priorities list in life, and then decide that I was not going to question or look back and beat myself up for my decisions later. I was going to decide to be okay with whatever I intelligently determined was best from my best self and with my goals and priorities in mind. That was super empowering for me. And from there, I began to take action. I listed all my priorities for the week: the project, health, family, clients, business priorities, social, in that order. Then I listed all of the existing appointments already on the schedule for the week. I knew that the project was my top priority for the week, and I was not going to cut any corners. I wanted to do a great job on that, get it done, and the project was due by midnight Sunday night. So I mapped out what needed to be done and when I would tackle each portion. Now, next in line was my commitment to my health. I blocked out my 3 workouts on the calendar for the next week. Unfortunately, one of my workouts that was supposed to be with my workout partner wasn't going to line up for that day, so I had to tell her I couldn't make it that day. So I moved it for myself, still showing up for the commitment to myself. Then I knew that I wanted to spend some time with my son and husband, so I blocked off 4 hours to golf with them on Sunday afternoon, which was the only time we could do it together. Yes, that is just hours before the project deadline. All of my client appointments worked within my schedule just fine. And in fact, one client had to reschedule, so I ended up actually having an additional hour to work on the project, so that was good. Our other social commitments were able to be met, so I managed to make dinner 3 out of the 5 nights. So what did I bump and why? I was able to determine that many of the job responsibilities and tasks that I had put on myself for the business for that week were only urgent because I had decided they needed to be. So I set a time aside for all the necessary items, and then I moved the others to the next week. Now, I could have chosen to sleep less, skip something else, whatever, if I wanted to. I've definitely chosen to do that plenty of times in the past. I could have decided to bump the big business goal plan timeline altogether if I wanted to. I almost did that, as a matter of fact, and then at the last minute, I decided not to. Now, another option would have been that I could have outsourced those tasks for the week to someone else and pay them to do them. And I had other options. I chose to move them, just bump them, and I was very happy with that decision. I skipped making dinner and relied on others around me to figure it out on 2 of the nights, which I love making dinner, by the way, so that's not something that's an obligation. I enjoy it. But I got others to do it for me. I skipped a few personal errands I had planned that were not urgent, and I chose to skip my chill out TV watching plan for Sunday night that I really love and I always do, in order to spend that time getting everything wrapped up for the project deadline. And that's not typically how I would spend a Sunday night, but I chose to. So guess what? I did all of that ahead of time, and I enjoyed every second of everything that I did all week. I had a better workout because of it. I actually enjoyed every second of playing my golf on Sunday afternoon, even though I played terribly. My workouts were harder than ever in a long time. I never felt bad about any of the things that I was doing for me or for others because I chose exactly what I wanted to do and what I didn't want to do, so I could relax and enjoy it. It's amazing how we can make ourselves so busy and how easily we can excuse our own needs or feel we need to disappoint those closest to us in order to have what we want. But what is the point of the journey toward having what we want and all that's possible for our lives if we're rushing or feeling obligated or becoming resentful, overwhelmed, stressed, or anything that doesn't fuel us in ways that can best serve us. So first, the deal we made was no shitting on ourselves, or as we like to call it, no shoulding on ourselves. No shoulding on ourselves. Then decide how you're going to approach the added unplanned projects or appointments or requests. How are you going to think about it? How does it make you feel? Any thoughts that make you feel stressed out, anxious, or guilty aren't going to get you very far. And then establish your priorities. What are the most important things you want to do with your time for the week? And if it doesn't fit into your top priorities, then either delay it, delegate it, or ditch it altogether. Seriously, you really need to think about all of those things. Mapping it out and honoring your commitments to all of it is what will keep you moving through it. And then you get to enjoy what you're doing with each thing that you're doing. Your time spent getting all of your priorities achieved is what you can do for yourself to give yourself permission to then relax, have fun, and enjoy all of it. Even in my case, to be golfing just hours before my project was due, I was not anxious or stressed one bit. Then you can evaluate all that you accomplished, learn from it all, and make your plan for next week with all of that in mind. Something will have gone differently than you would have liked, for sure. It did for me, and it always will, and we can plan on that. But we learn from it, and then we plan for next time. The most important area of your life where you can focus is gaining control of your most valuable resource, your time. And when you can do that, you will officially have your shit together at least more often. And then you can do anything, truly. So listen, come check us out, Strive Coaching Studio, for more valuable tools and resources for you to improve your results, help you gain more control of your time, and be able to learn how you can achieve all the things you want to achieve in your life. I hope I will see you there. Catch you next time.
Thanks for listening. For more great tips, visit us on strivecoachingstudio.com.